So right now, I want to change the topic a little bit. Then I'm going to get back to the scriptures at hand, dealing with what was said the other day by Boris Johnson, because Boris Johnson pretty much said, look, the only reason why you should be out is if you're going to go get your medication or some food. We're in a situation where the world is on shutdown. Okay? So this is where we're at in the world. And like I said, if you notice, the brothers that are in the faith, the brothers that know what they're involved in, they're cool, calm, and collected. They're all right. Because we've already, like I said, we've already prepared our minds for this day and time to come. So it doesn't bother us not one iota. All right? And we know that things are going to get a lot more worse than it already is. Okay, so anyway, let me read this. This is a coronavirus strict new curb on life in UK announced by Prime Minister. And it says, people may only leave home to exercise once a day, to travel to and from work where absolutely necessary, to shop for essential items, and to fulfill any medical or care needs. Shops selling non-essential goods have been told to shut, and gathering in public of more than two people who do not live together will be prohibited. So they're giving you the toll, which is this is what they got, 335, which is not really, that's not really to be afraid of. But the intention here is just to bring martial law, man. That's why they're making a big thing about this coronavirus scare. It says if people do not follow the rules, police will have the powers to enforce them, including through fines and dispersing gatherings, Prime Minister Boris Johnson said in a televised statement from down the street. And it's going to get to the point where it ain't going to be just the cops fining you or imprisoning you. No, it's going to be the military. The military is going to get involved eventually if this thing continues on as it's doing. All right. So we're in martial law. We're in a mild form of martial law where the cops can say that you have to pay a fine or they can imprison you. But like I said, it's going to get to the point where the military is going to get involved. Because there's different levels of martial law. This is a mild form, but it's gonna grow to a major form. Okay, and that's exactly where they want to take this thing. So it says Mr. Johnson said the country faced a moment of national emergency and staying at home was necessary to protect the NHS to save lives. He said the restrictions would be in place for at least 3 weeks and would be kept under constant review. All right, the government guidance say people should only leave homes for one of 4 reasons: shopping for basic necessities such as food and medicine. Shopping trips should be as infrequent as possible. 1 form of exercise a day as a run, because a lot of people like to exercise, especially a lot of these Edomites, man. Walk or cycle. This should be done alone or only with people you live with. Any medical need or to provide care or to help a vulnerable person. This includes moving children under the age of 18 between their parents' homes where applicable. Key workers or those with children identified as vulnerable can continue to take their children to school. It says traveling to and from work, but only where work absolutely cannot be done from home. Okay? So they're laying it down to you as to what you can and cannot do. Okay? They're showing you right here. I don't really have to read all of this. They're telling you exactly what you can and cannot do with your own life, pretty much. They're pretty much telling you that you really never had freedom as it was always. Okay, the whole idea of you having a democracy, that was just to really disguise, to throw people off away from the truth that it's all about the rich and those that are in powerful positions that rule over the people. Okay? That's what it was always all about. Like the previous empires of the world, you had the king and you had the different levels of government. So that's what you always had in these different empires. And this is the same. It's the same to this very moment in time. We don't live in a society where people run their own life. Okay, and just based on people believing that they have their own rights. Again, that was just an illusion that was just an illusion that was given to the people to then throw people off from away from the truth that you have a select few of people which would then make up what? Let's just say 3 to 5% of the population that control probably 97 or 95% of the population. All right? And just based on this UK lockdown, especially major cities such as London and Manchester, all right, this is an indication of how the government, which is what is it, a select few of men controlling the masses of the people. All right, this just goes to further show that a select few of people have full control of the people. Okay? It is what it is. So that whole democracy was just a disguise. That's all it was. All right? So, yeah, that's pretty much all I have on this article here, man. Let me get Amos 8, verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. You see, because the way they got it going on down here in London, England, is gotten to the point where we really can't go out and teach the word no more. And it's funny because, you know, brothers is kind of like telling me about what we should do, and with, you know, this is actually having an effect on us. And I'm not gonna lie, like I didn't actually really believe it. Like, okay, I was just like, I was reading the you know, Boris Johnson was saying in terms of the new laws, but I wasn't reading it properly. So I read it again, and yeah, it looks to me that we can't go out there. Okay? Because if you're gonna go out, it's for important reasons. It's either because you're shopping and you can't be out. You can't be out there no more than an hour. And usually we're outside for hours. Sometimes 3 hours, sometimes 4 or 5 hours we're out there for. You know, so they got the city on lockdown. So we've reached to the point where the famine of word is at bay. Because you got Israelites out there that don't know that they're Israelites. They're no longer going to be able to see us on the street corners anymore. You know, and one may say, well, they could watch the videos. And yeah, they can watch the videos, but how long are those videos going to be up? There's going to come a time where YouTube may even say something to the point where they might say, look, anything that involves some kind of truth or that goes against the narrative, they're going to just take them down. Okay? They may even have it to the point where, because they're already doing it as it stands right now, they even got this thing where you have to confirm that your channel is not meant for children, or if it is meant for children. Like, they got that kind of thing going on YouTube now. But you know what though? Let me reiterate what I'm saying. What it's gonna get down to now, eventually, it's gonna get down to the point where the government is going to censor the internet. To the point where people won't even have freedom and rights to even express their opinions on the internet. That's where it's going. So you can't see the men on the street preaching, and you can't see the men also on the computer and get this truth. So we're pretty much approaching that time, because martial law is fully going to be implemented, and this is something that they really want to do. They really want to close up shop. And those that have the truth and that stand for some kind of truth, which we stand for the truth ultimately, they're going to look to imprison us or put us to death. That's where it's all going. Those that go against the world at bay, the beast, entirely to the point where they don't want to get vaccinated or they don't want to take the chip, they're going to imprison you, or they're going to pretty much put you to death. And you know what? Being that we're at the end of this world, in this life, you got to stand for something, man. And the something is that I'm willing to die in the name of Yahweh Shemiah Shai. You know, if that's the cup that I have to drink, if that's the way I have to go out, then hey, that's so be. All right, because that's the greatest thing that a man can do, is die for his savior that also died for him. All right, because there's nothing else to look towards in this society. There was nothing in this life for us anyway. You know, all we were doing was surviving in this life. We wouldn't really live in life, so we might as well, like I said, if we have to sacrifice our life, because that's what we've been doing. We've been sacrificing our life for as long as we've been in the truth. That's all we've been doing. So we might as well go all the way out anyway, you know, because there's nothing in this society to hold on to, or to feel afraid to die, to leave. You know, like there's nothing here for us. It was just all an illusion. Okay? And the truth be told, our life is in Yahweh Shai. Our life is in Yahweh Shai. That's where our life is at. Our life is in their hands. So it'd be best for us to give this life up anyway, knowing that we'll experience what it means to really live life. Because we're not living life. We're just surviving right now. Okay? So that's all I have to say on this. But then again, what I would like to do is read one last scripture. This is Amos 8:11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north, and even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. So it's going to get to the point where you're not going to find the word of the Lord. You're not going to find us on the street, which that's already happening already. Okay, because we're all under curfew now, so we can't go out there. We can go outside, but we only can go outside for a particular moment in time. No more than an hour. And what's an hour? Hour's nothing. Like, you know, where I live at, and where brothers is coming from, like, it takes them more than an hour to get down to the camp. You know? It takes me, I'm not going to lie, approximately from where I live at, 30 minutes to get to the camp. So by the time I get down to the camp, they're going to tell us where to go, man. You know, so we've reached a point where the famine of the word is at bay in the physical sense, but on a virtual sense, that's going to happen too, because they're going to censor the internet down. They're going to censor the internet real soon, and you won't be able to see us no more. So if you couldn't receive the truth while the getting was good, while the time was good for you to get the truth, then that's just so be. Okay? Or if you an individual that left the truth, or you fell out of the faith, you withdrawn from the labor, and now you're all bugged out and confused and you don't know what to believe. Now you just on your own. Okay? You're just gonna have to deal with what you're gonna have to deal with in your own way. All right? Because that's really what it's all about at the end of the day. You know, once you fall away from this truth, what you simply said is that I want to do what I want to do. I don't want to really go under the discipline, under this or under that. I want to do what I want to do. So you do you want to do when all hell breaks loose. Okay? And it's not going to be, well, I'm going to try to find the truth. I'm going to try and, you know, link certain guys and find certain brothers to break this down or show me this or show me that. We're not going to show you nothing, man. It tells you in Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter, that the Lord is going to make our mouth dumb, like Ezekiel. So we won't be able to break anything to you. Okay? Like it says in Matthew 25, go to the sellers and buy. Meaning you're going to have to get the truth by yourself. And while you're trying to get the truth, the Messiah is going to already make a second return. So that's all I got to say, man. But like I'm going to say also to the brothers that's in the knowing the truth, remain faithful, praying, and be more diligent in that, more so than never before. Because this is all we can do right now. Is what I'm doing, is doing these shows, and also constant in prayer, being consistent in prayer. So that's it, brothers. With that, I'm gonna close out. I could read another precept, but you know what? There's no need. I'm gonna close this one out. Hopefully you were edified. Hopefully you were encouraged in the spirit. And with that, I want to close this one out. So I say, Shalom.